is privileged to be here for the second time. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been tasked to actually categorize the OGWs, which is quite opposite to my nature, because I paint everything in black and white, and my friends have problem with it. So let me try if I can do justice to this topic. At the very outset, sir, I believe that one who provides logistics to the armed militants, we are wrongly categorizing him as OGW, which he is not. He is actually the backbone. He is the one who is actually fixing the targets. He is the one who is choosing the targets. He is the one who is facilitating the movement. He is the one who is giving every kind of input to the armed militant. So, by that account, he is not. He should not be approached. Who really an OGW is? I mean, the people, as General Saha hinted at, the people having militant mindset are the OGW, are the real OGW. Now you need to categorize the people with the militant mindset. First category is those who have ideological orientation. I mean, who believe in the extremism, who believe in some kind of fantasy. They are the first ones who should be categorized as OG. We have hardcore religious extremists like Jamaat-e-Islami. I suppose without going into the argument that we can win over the hearts and minds, we can do this and that, we can have some kind of arrangement with them, we can have some kind of working relationship with them, they will help us in bringing some kind of normalcy, they will help us tomorrow in elections. Very recently, a senior political leader posed me a question that the system, the government, it actually used Jamaat-e-Islami for electoral prospects of a particular party. Why can't they do the same thing? Why can't they repeat the same analogy now? I mean, this is the kind of, I suppose here there should be a red line. As far as the religious extremism is concerned and the religious extremist is concerned, in no way you can bring him to your side. What is common perception among them, or how they actually operate, is that they have been taught over and over again by the philosophy of their founder that you have to go for the tactical retreats, and in that tactical retreat, the state pays the huge price. State may or may not pay the huge price, but the common people, it costs them there. So the people with ideological orientation, they should be seen as OGWs, and how you want to deal with them. I would have loved to talk about the ideas how to deal with these kind of people rather than categorizing them. But anyway, the topic has been given to me. Then there is a category which I say influenced by the particular event, by the environment, like we say, General D.P. Pandey often says the peer group influence, or influenced by some events where there is emotional outbursts and all that, and they get influenced and then. You have also situational or temperamental OGWs. Very recently, one of the known political leaders said, to hell with this and to hell with that. They are the temperamental people. They also somehow contribute in creating this militant mindset, and they also pose a challenge to the overall security scenario of the state. So, when it comes to the indoctrination, you have very gullible, as General D.P. Pandey said in his introductory remarks, you have a very gullible population whose worldview is so limited, it is so narrow, and by reading some pamphlets here and there, or by reading tafsirs of the modern interpretations of Quran and all that, by this sect or that sect, by this Molvi or that Molvi, they come to mosques and they should it. Honestly, मुझे पता नहीं है कि उनको मतलब are they really part of this ecosystem, या ऐसे ही उनके ना वो जिसे हम कहते हैं कि ना वो सीना फाड़ने के पे आ जाते हैं, and then they start giving hate speeches, they start so this breed of OGWs is really something which we should be looking at. This is very important. Leave Jamaat Islami alone, but try to address the problem which these kind of people, these kind of preachers, these kind of religious teachers and teachings But the second largest threat of OGW category is the political polarization. General Saha, you said that we have achieved a lot. I yesterday also posed this question to some of my friends, that if you have not achieved, or if you have failed in achieving what the abrogation of Article 370 was meant, you should restore it. I mean, you have a lot of problems still persisting and in certain cases aggravating. Yes, as far as the domination of that narrative is concerned, you have controlled it, you have contained it. Credit goes to you. There are no more hallas, gullas, there are no more chest beatings, and there are no more takreers and this and that. To that extent, it is okay, you have achieved something. But, like it's not my domain, inputs from your agencies only suggest that the militants and terrorists are trying to make Srinagar the epicenter. Because at one point in time we created a narrative that the problem of terrorism is actually it is about 2.5 districts of South West. So when the ideology is universal, when it has universal implications, when the ideology is jihadi, how can you argue and how can you suggest that the militancy in Kashmir is confined to South Kashmir? We have a string. How is it possible? The third, as far as political polarization is concerned, what have you achieved? You on the floor of House at the time of abrogation said that we will be providing the people of Jammu and Kashmir a new leadership, a fresh alternative. And you had elections जिसमें आपने बड़ी मेहनत की उनको सक्सेसफुल करने में, डीडीसी इलेक्शन, और आज भी एक वीडियो उनको अपने ऑफिस में घुसने नहीं देता. You see, every time there are protesters here and there, agitating these PRIs. Even VLW ने, एक बार मैं किसी सरपंच को सुन रहा था, वो कह रहा था कि ऑनरेबल VLW ने मुझे ना मुलाकात के लिए. So if this is the kind of situation, what did you achieve? Political polarization is the biggest threat, is the biggest challenge. And unfortunately it can't be dealt by the Corps Commander of the people or our three major generals of Victor Force, Civil Force. It can't be. How will you deal with it? You could not create a platform or you could not support the people. अगर वो कुछ वहाँ नहीं पाता है, you should call his SDP और SP की कहीं पे नाका लगाने की जरूरत मत है कि देख लेंगे ये गाड़ी कहीं पे होगी, या हो सकता है. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता. 4-8 दिन के बाद से जब आपने बिलाल को ठोका तो फिर मुझे कहा गया कि आप इसको देख सकते हैं. बिलीव मी सर, मैंने जब उस तस्वीर को देखा तो मेरी पैर गिरी. बिलाल, फिर हमें पता लगा कि बिलाल था, और बिलाल अगर बशीर असद की रिज़्क़ खत्म हुई होती तो वो ठोक देता, निकल जाता. बिस्मा भी उसी के साथ हलाक, और इम्तियाज हुसैन ज्यादा से ज्यादा ट्वीट कर सकता. I lost a dear friend. I lost a nationalist friend, a dear friend. Salute to you, my brother. So anyway, you have we have huge challenges as a people. And as the guardians of the state, we have huge challenges, and we need to first understand and actually categorize the people in their right words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bashir. बड़ा दर्द भी था, बहुत डांट भी थी आपके तकरीर में. I promise you there will be many more Twitters before the final one, which is in everybody's destiny anyway. But I think, the important point which you have very clearly highlighted is how complex the whole thing has become. आपके अगर तकरीर का हम निचोड़ निकालें, OGW में हुर्रियत तो है ही है, जमात भी है, अब सियासत भी जुड़ गई, तो बचा कौन? So again we get back to, I think, the point that the Corps Commander said, unless you get at the ism, i.e. unless you get at the sense of militancy that prevails in this environment, you can't get anywhere. There will be 100 reasons to polarize, and democracy is about polarization, positive or otherwise. It revolves around polarization. So therefore, Is polarization something to classify or categorize as OGW? You can deliberate over it, and while thanking you for only mystifying it further, may I now request Mr. Imtiaz Hussain from the Jammu and Kashmir Police, who has been at the forefront in combating terrorism, active on social media, as Bashir Saab said, advocating issues of national interest and countering propaganda. Over to you, Mr. Imtiaz Hussain.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, a lot has been spoken already. I will try to confine myself to the subject assigned to me. So I have made a write-up so in order to keep myself restricted to the subject matter and not to go on speaking on and on. I am right from the write-up that I have written. So my talk here today would be a humble effort to develop some understanding about overground support network of terrorism, which includes key elements of terror financing being undertaken with narcotic trade proceeds and other modes of cash and cashless transactions. We also need to know the critical significance in terrorism milieu of a character we all know as OGW, the permanent feature of ever-changing terrorism landscape of Jammu and Kashmir, as has already been said. To develop the contemporary understanding of the subject, the baseline of historical perspective will make it easy for us. When gun-toting terrorists appeared in the scene in 1989-90 in our courtyards and backyards, as we all know, there used to be a coterie of the people accompanying those and tailing those terrorists. And we in Kashmiri would call them Soyat. Many of you may remember. Soyat in Kashmiri means the wick of an oil lamp, like lantern, which burns and produces the light. Some very wise Kashmiri lady or gentleman coined this term Soyat for these OGWs.
मैं गाड़ी की तरफ जा रहा हूं, ब्लैक कलर की ऑल्टो नंबर प्लेट के बगैर मेरे सामने खड़ा हुआ है। आरती, यार दिल्ली में बात करना बड़ी बात नहीं है, यहाँ देखो हमारे साथ क्या हो रहा है। बगैर नंबर प्लेट के ऑल्टो गाड़ी मेरे सामने खड़ा है। एंड द गाय सिटिंग इन द कार, वो मेरी तरफ बिल्कुल गाड़ी खड़ा करके ऐसे गुरगुरा के देख रहा है। मुझे कोई कल पुलिस ऑफिसर, सीनियर पुलिस ऑफिसर कहता कि बशीर अपना ख्याल रखना, मैंने कहा सब मैं तो अपना ख्याल आप खुद ही रखता हूँ, मैं आपको कहने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं आप पे नहीं छोड़ रहा हूँ, जितना मैं रख सकता हूँ मैं खुद ही रखता हूँ। इमीडिएटली मुझे लगा कि कुछ देयर इज समथिंग। मैंने दरवाजा खोला गाड़ी का, ऐसा पोज किया कि एज इफ आई एम एक्चुअली यहाँ से मैं रिवॉल्वर निकाल रहा हूँ, पिस्टल निकाल रहा हूँ, लाइक दिस। तो वो गाड़ी 4 कदम आगे जाकर रुक गई। इन द मीन टाइम मैं इसको कहता हूँ बात, ऐसे बात जाती है, और एसएचओ राजबाग को फोन करता हूँ कि भैया कुछ है। अब एसएचओ राजबाग को क्या चाहिए सर, अगर वो वहां स्पॉट पे आता है, अगर वो कुछ वहां नहीं पाता है, he should call his SDP और एसपी की कहीं पे नाका लगाने की जरूरत मत है कि देख लेंगे ये गाड़ी कहीं पे होगी, या हो सकता है। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता। 4-8 दिन के बाद से जब आपने बिलाल को ठोका, तो फिर मुझे कहा गया कि आप इसको देख सकते हैं। बिलीव मी सर, मैंने जब उस तस्वीर को देखा तो मेरी पैट गिरी। बिलाल, फिर हमें पता लगा कि बिलाल था, और बिलाल अगर बशीर असद की रिज़्क़ खत्म हुई होती तो वो ठोक देता, निकल जाता, बिस्मा भी उसी के साथ हलाक। और इम्तियाज हुसैन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ट्वीट कर सकता है। I lost a dear friend. I lost a nationalist friend, a dear friend. Salute to you, my brother. So anyway, you have, we have huge challenges as a people, and as the guardians of the state, we have huge challenges, and we need to first understand and actually categorize the people in their right terms. Thank you very much.